Equality North Carolina is a statewide group dedicated to securing equal rights and justice for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people. We work toward that goal by effectively lobbying the North Carolina General Assembly, executive branch, and local governments on issues like inclusive anti-bullying policies, employment discrimination, hate violence, privacy rights, sexuality education, adoption, domestic partnerships, HIV/AIDS, and more. We also work to engage North Carolinians in educational programming and outreach efforts. The following video includes lobbying tips and information.
I'm on the Equality North Carolina listserv, and so I received an invitation to participate in a one-day lobbying experience. And it was actually, I was nervous, but it was actually incredibly helpful. Because what they did was to make sure that we were prepared with information about what bills were coming up in the legislative agenda, information on why Equality North Carolina stood for what they stood for and why they thought that we should, agree with them, and just gave us some of the language to really be able to speak to that. And so I remembered poring over that material thinking, oh, I have to know all of this, I have to know all this. But what was nice was that I wasn't alone. There was a whole group of us. There had to be 50 or more people who were joining together with Equality to lobby on that day. And so it felt a lot safer and more supported that way. And there were Equality North Carolina staff people there to answer questions as well. And we walked over as a group to the legislature, which was pretty amazing. And we sat together, and one by one we would just go to our different representatives just whenever we felt comfortable. And so I remember going in and asking to have, to make an appointment with my legislature's secretary. And she was wonderful. She said, well, why don't you go right in? And so I went in and I was nervous. I think I said 6 times in the first sentence. But my legislator just wanted to know who I was, how long I'd been in his district, and what I was passionate about. And because I had this material to prepare for that, I felt really competent in saying, here are the things that I think are most important. I prioritized the ones that were most important to me, and I spoke to him about it. And I was really lucky. My legislator was incredibly warm, and he was predisposed to agree with me anyway. So that, made it a lot smoother. But I remember walking out of the office and feeling like I'd done something important, that I had spoken up, that I had felt prepared, and that I knew what I was doing when I went into that space, and that I was doing it in community, and that I was really heard. So it was a surprisingly positive experience, and it felt really empowering, and it felt like I did something scary, and then I was successful. So it was pretty great. So that was my lobbying experience with Equality North Carolina. If I were going to do anything different, I would just get more people involved. Part of it was that I was new to the area and I didn't know that many people who would come with me, and so I think that getting numbers in the room would be something that I would do. Quite frankly, Equality North Carolina did the prep work for me. The reality is that the legislative agenda isn't something that even an educated citizen who reads the newspapers is necessarily going to be aware of. And so what was great was that Equality North Carolina actually provided us with the data or with the information on what was coming up in the legislature. And so that was really the key, and also just talking us through it. So I don't know what I don't think I would have done anything different. I think the most important tip is that you're not a professional lobbyist, and you don't have to go into that space as a professional. You're a citizen, you're a taxpayer, you're a voter, and you're empowered to have a voice. And I think that that allows you to relax and to just be open in yourself with your legislator in ways that are as frank and candid as you want to be. So I think that's the most important thing, is that you go into that space comfortable, that you're allowed to be there and that you have something important to say. And so you can relax. You don't have to say 6 times in the first sentence. Do it! You can do it. Anybody can do it. You don't have to be particularly articulate. You just have to speak up, say something. You can do it. I promise.
For more information about Equality North Carolina, contact them at 919-829-0343 or visit the website at www.equalitync.org. For more information about lobbying, you can visit the Center for Lobbying in the Public Interest at www.clpi.org.